Yo, Ed Options, here we are. We're going to work through touchscreen challenges today. Touchscreen level 1, as you can see right up there, we've got options. Okay, so you can see today that we are going to utilize the touchscreen features on the Chromebook to do one of two things. You can see right up here, option number 1. We're going to head right over here and address 3 of the algebra questions from that particular page. Or option number 2 is you're going to be able to create some visual notes. This is a pretty cool concept that's popped up on the educational landscape, where you can kind of take a series of notes and construct meaning on a concept through a given series of handwritten or kind of sketched up notes, which is really pretty cool. Okay, and then again, we're going to answer that question right there. How can using digital whiteboard and touchscreen capabilities increase the effectiveness of a Chromebook as a learning tool? All right, so here we go. Let's get ready to knock this one out. And as always, pause, practice, rewind this thing as much as necessary, and we'll take it from there. So here we go. That's the idea. Level 1, touchscreen badge. Here we go. All right, gangs, touchscreen level 1, option 2. Okay, so you can see right up here, if you don't want to solve the algebraic questions, we've got the option of listening to a podcast and taking some visual notes, right? So that implies that a learner is going to be able to jot down, draw some pictures, make some connections, kind of in a way that makes sense to them, right? So your stimulus for this note-taking experience is conveniently located right over here on the left-hand side of your screen. Brains on how the internet gets to you. Right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click this link to fire up this podcast so I can listen to it. And all you're going to do here to get it to play is press the press the play button, obviously. So to get a feel for what that's like.
My question is, how does internet flow around the world? This is a fascinating question.
Fascinating indeed. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and listen to this podcast. And as I listen to this podcast, I'm going to be taking some visual notes here about the internet. Right, so again, using my handy dandy stylus, thanks Ed Options. Right, I'm just going to begin as I listen to the podcast taking some notes. Right, and I can draw pictures, I can make connections, draw arrows. The idea is to kind of create visual imagery of what these concepts mean to me. So again, as I listen, I'm going to go ahead and take some notes, and as I take them, right, like I'm not going to listen to the whole thing. This video would be 27 minutes long if I listened to the podcast and made you watch all the notes. So what I'm going to do is simply pause the recording here. I'm going to take some notes as I listen to the podcast. Again, that's over here where I'm listening to that in Google, right? And I'm just going to simply take notes as I listen to it. And then ultimately, once I'm done, we'll pick this back up on exporting, saving it as an image, and getting it over onto the portfolio. So again, I'm going to go ahead and pause right here. I'm going to take some diligent notes about how the internet gets to me, and then I'll see you guys here in a sec once I've got these notes all set up. Okay, so I've been listening to that podcast, and how the internet gets to me has just blown my mind. Okay, but as you can see here, I've taken some visual notes. Again, sweet stylus is the handwritten stuff you see there. But then also I was able to add some images, right? So you can see here, I'm not a talented artist, right? So if you are crafty like that and can sketch out a computer, I cannot, by all means go for it. But I went out and I nabbed some images of some cables, some servers and things like that, and this kind of map makes sense to me. And just while we're here doing this, how do I get those images in there? Well, I went and I searched them out in Google and saved them to my Chromebook, and then in Sketchpad I was able to come in here and place into, right? So I hit the plus symbol with the file in the top left hand corner, and then I come here and I choose place into, right? So I don't know if you can see that there, but again, plus symbol with the folder, and I place into. That means I'm going to bring an image in and dump it right here in my sketch note. Okay, so that's what I did in order to get the computer and the wires on here in the servers, again, for me to make sense of these notes. Okay, so again, I've been listening to the podcast that's attached to our course. I've taken my visual notes kind of along the way. Now I'm ready to move those over into my electronic portfolio. Okay, so just like, well, if you're watching this video, you probably didn't watch part one. So in part one, what we did is once I'm done with whatever I'm going to do in this touchscreen space, I come up here to the save disk, right? And I'm going to choose export. And for me, I'm gonna take a PNG or a JPEG is really going to be your best option. So let's all, for all intents and purposes, right now save a PNG. You see there that it was saved to my Chromebook. Now I'm ready to add that onto my portfolio. Okay, so I'm going to head over to my portfolio page. You can see here I've been diligently working on my touch screen. There was the algebra stuff from level 1. Okay, level 1, part 1, I should say, option 1. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to insert my image for level 1, option 2, right? And what I've got is an upload. So I'm going to come right over here and I'm going to choose the upload option. Okay, so I'm going to choose upload. And again, that's going to send my computer on a browse for my sketch note that I just saved. And here she is. So I'm going to choose that and say open. Bingo, bango, bongo. My sketch note has now arrived on my Google page, my portfolio page. So this is down here where I'm set up to house all of my sweet stuff for level 3. So I need to move that up, right, up into the level 1 area. So I'm going to simply grab that block, slide it right up here. And here is my evidence and my thoughtful reflection. So I'm going to dump it right here below option number 1. Right, so you can see here, there's the option number 1 content. Right down here, and I labeled those in case you didn't watch the first video. Here is the level 2. Check that, option 2 for level 1. Right, so again, you can listen to the podcast, you can do the algebra. I'm going to come in here and put some titles on these to really clean it up. But once I do that, you'll be able to, again, publish your evidence, right? So there's option number 1, right down here. Option number 2, again, I'm going to label those. But for all intensive purposes, I'm going to publish to save the changes. Okay, go to that published site. You can see here I'm on my touchscreen page, touchscreen level 1. Again, there's my evidence. There's the second option, my sketch note. I'm going to copy this web address right here, and then I'm going to head over to the Ed Options task page, right? Level 1. I have completed level 1. I've completed level 2. I've thoughtfully responded to my reflection question. I'm going to simply go into my Dropbox, and right there I'm going to paste that web address to my ePortfolio site. Right? So again, have your administrator check out one of two things, right? You've either solved the algebra problems or you've listened to the podcast and taken some beautiful notes. And either way, you have uploaded an image of your Sketchpad solutions, or you have uploaded an image of your visual notes. Okay? And those are on your portfolio page. Okay? So, proud of you guys. This is a tall order. Fun, though. Freeze your kids up. Go beyond the keyboard.